Well, hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. My name is Andy, and today I'm at the Savage Gulf State Park here in southern Tennessee between Chattanooga and Nashville, hiking with a couple buddies of mine that we'll introduce in a little bit. But we're doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so 2 nights, 3 days, something like 20 miles, checking out this park. Lots of waterfalls, cliffs, views, you name it, so stay tuned. Oh, and you're watching Andy Parrish Outdoors.
This isn't Andy Parrish Outdoors. This is As the Crow Flies Hiking.
That is As the Crow Flies Hiking. It's like the girl with the Instagram shots.
There's some great places out here.
Cool little overlooks. We're going to be walking along kind of the edge of the ridge to that first campsite that we reserved. We'll be hiking down there tomorrow, down along the trail that cuts through kind of the center, going to a couple different waterfalls. Unless we hit one of those, unless we hit one of those tonight. All right, we're just making it into the campground area. We passed site number 3. Site number 2 are both taken, so we're coming out looking for number 1, which is where we're at tonight.
Obviously.
That's massive. That looks like what I would book. So let's go check it out. I hope it's big enough.
Well, it's the same one we were looking at.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Very nice.
I don't have to listen to them snore tonight, so that'll be cool.
Yeah. Beautiful campsite.
I think we got plenty of room, right?
Plenty of rooms set up.
Gosh, whoever planned this is freaking sweet.
I think we got a lot of room.
I think we got a little bit of space.
Plenty of trees for the hammock.
There's a privy over there.
Yes. We got our own private bathroom. There's a shower facility here somewhere. No, just kidding. That's not true. That's not true. Just kidding.
Andy, what you got?
Chili Mac. Classic. I'm going to save the peak refuel for tomorrow night.
Which one of those you got?
Chicken and rice.
Nice. It's got them shrooms.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, we're morning of day 2 here at the Savage Gulf in Tennessee. We had this amazing, huge campsite. Check this out. It's for at least you can get up to 6 people here. You could fit like 40. So the guys finally got packed up. They're a little slow. I was waiting on them for like an hour and a half. But you know, sometimes you gotta adapt on these trips to those that are a little slower, that maybe aren't as quick. We've had some rain as we were packing up, even eating breakfast, all that stuff. We're supposed to see some waterfalls today, so I guess on the bright side, all this rain will help with the waterfall. So we'll see. Stay tuned for all of that. We're gonna head down into the Gulf, then hike along the bottom. There's some pretty cool stuff to see down there, so we'll bring you along. If you got an umbrella, you're gonna use it. All right, let's get on trail. So just got on trail from the Alum Gap campsites, and just a minute or two down, you're already at the trailhead split. So I'm going to take the guys over to Grundy Falls, and we're going to head up that way, and then just backtrack, and then eventually later today we're going to head down into the Gulf. But might as well, if you got some time, go check out the falls. It's pretty cool. So let's go take a look. Not a loop trail. Load limit, 2 people, no running or jumping. I knew that was coming. Can't take him anywhere. .4 mile. At first I thought it said 4 miles.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
This section of trail is definitely more rugged than what we experienced coming into the Alum Gap campsites. Hiking over to Grundy Falls from that site, it's a lot of kind of boulder fields up and down. We just passed a pretty sizable waterfall back there too, but the trail doesn't even go to that one. We're off to see Grundy. That would have been nice to maybe have a little trail down to that other one.
What's up, Andy? Hey, how you doing? Taylor, you left your camera down here on the ground. Oh, shit. Oh.
Thanks to whoever put these stairs in. Whoa, So we've made it over to Grundy Falls. We're heading down the stairs to the lower section of the falls, which has this really cool spiral staircase. And the falls are back behind the rock. You can't see them. Watch that last step. So this is Grundy Falls. It's definitely worth checking out if you're coming to the Savage Gulf area. And I know it can be pretty tough because the different park entrances, there's 4 different park entrances, and they're quite a ways away from each other. So to drive all the way around the park is kind of tough. But if you are making plans and you can include this, it's definitely worth the hike down to Grundy Falls. So let's keep hiking, see what else there is to see. I will say one thing about the west end here. There are waterfalls everywhere. This is the 3rd pretty sizable waterfall. You know, Grundy Falls, one other one, and then this one. And you can't really get down to this really well, but man, that's multi-story tall, cascading waterfall, very cool. You just can't really get down to it. You see it from the trail as you hike past it. Oh, it's flowing pretty good.
Yes, sir.
You having any going problems?
A little bit. My bladder's been... Oh, you talking about the water?
It could be a growing problem. I'm gonna blow that up.
Taylor takes a dive. Andy, you said you'd give me $5 just if I came up and got your camera, so I expect that by Venmo by midnight tonight. Thank you.
So we've come down kind of the bottom of the Gulf from Alum Gap, and you get this really neat section where you're kind of walking along the lowlands here along the stream, and lots of life, lots of growth, lots of wildflowers that are coming out, and trail's not too bad. It's, you know, not too rocky once you get down here to the bottom, so it's been quite nice. We've really enjoyed walking through this section as we're heading towards Ranger Falls, which will be the next stop on our trail. So stay tuned for that. We found this cool little spot to stop and maybe grab a bite to eat before we get to Ranger Falls. There's a little falls in the background. We'll take you over there and take a look. We're gonna get the packs off, have a little snack, take a little break before we head on. So one thing that is known about this area from the geological side is there's a lot of kind of karst topography, which means there's lots of underground caves that have been carved out. You think of these caverns, the Gulf itself being eroded by the water that's flowed through here. It's eroded some of that, sandier rock that's even below ground level. So there's a ton of underground caverns and caves. So they were telling us that you'll notice these big flowing rivers coming from the waterfalls, and then they'll just disappear. And we've got an example of that right here. The water that's coming from Grundy Falls has come down this way. We're hiking along it, and it comes to this point. I'll show you how heavy it's flowing from the recent rains, and then it just goes underground. So take a look. So here's the falls. Well, not the falls. Here's the river coming from the falls that comes down, and it's really rushing, and then it's actually going under the rock. So it's hitting this pool and hits that rock, and it just kind of pools here, but it's all going underneath. So there's caves and rocks that's been worn away, and it's just going into groundwater, into underground caverns. So the further we hike on, we're just gonna have kind of dried riverbed for large sections of it, because it only fills up, I was told, sometimes when they have really heavy rains and it gets past this point, and it'll get beyond. But you'll have sections like this where the river just stops and then it doesn't continue. Isn't that crazy? I think that's cool. So what do you think? All right, so we've hiked all the way down to the bottom where we see the split to Ranger Falls. We've got the sign behind us. The stone door is off that way. We're gonna keep going that way eventually to hit the connector trail to head over to the Hobbs Cabin campsites. But we're gonna shoot out here. It's about just under a half a mile out to the falls, and then back to get on trail. So 8/10 of a mile, I think, is round trip to see the falls. We're gonna go check them out. Just 4/10 of a mile from the trail, you arrive at this, Ranger Falls. Have you seen too many waterfalls today?
I'm starting to feel like it.
All right, so that is Ranger Falls behind me. Definitely worth the 4/10 of a mile hike up the trail to see it. Maybe not as spectacular as Grundy Falls, but still pretty cool. I'd recommend, if you're doing this loop, if you're doing the hike, if you can spare the extra mile, come check it out. We're gonna hike back down. What's really crazy is, just like the other one, all that water is coming over the falls and just disappears under the rock. None of it makes it out to this part, at least right now. It looks like, obviously in really stormy weather, that probably overflows and goes down this creek bed, but right now none of that is. This is completely bone dry. That's crazy. All right, I gotta watch where I'm going, catch up with the other guys.
Is that where we're going?
Yeah. All right, so we made the junction. We're here at Big Creek Golf Trail, where it intersects with the connector trail. So we're gonna take the connector trail out towards Hobbs Cabin. And then if we wanted the short route, we could take the Big Creek Gap Trail up through the stone door back to the ranger station, which is where our cars are parked. So tonight we're gonna head out down the connector trail to Hobbs, and then we're gonna hike back this way, and tomorrow go up the Big Creek Gap Trail through the stone door to home. So, all right, check back later. Taylor's gonna be our guinea pig. He's gonna check the structural integrity. We always send the engineer to do that. Plus, if it falls, we don't miss him as much. Like that board that's not attached, that's not sketchy at all. Whoa, it's very wobbly. We did it. That was pretty tall. Off to Hobbs Cabin, 3.5 miles. So we've been hiking along the connector trail, heading over towards the Hobbs Cabin, a little bit more on the east side of the Gulf. And we're getting close to the point, the last leg of the day, where we have a really substantial climb, switchbacks in a really short period of time. So there's about 800 or 900 foot gain in about a mile or so. And we've only got about maybe a little over 2 miles left. So that incline is coming really quickly. The guys just stopped behind me to top off some water. I'm just kind of moseying along, so they'll catch me pretty quick. But just wanted to keep moving. We're getting towards the end of the day, and looking forward to getting to camp. And I know we got that really brutal climb, so just wanna keep going. It's really beautiful here though. It's challenging. It's fairly rugged. So there's some sections like I'm on right now, which are nice and cushy and, you know, dirt path with some pine needles and feels great on the feet. And there's some spots where you're just climbing over rocks, like a big rock field. And, you know, that's a little bit more challenging. You roll your ankles a little bit more and stuff like that. So you got to be really paying attention to what's going on. So not a lot of filming during those spots at times. So well, I'm going to enjoy hiking for a few minutes until these gentlemen catch up, which is right about now. Holy cow, this is absolutely brutal. We've been doing, like the last couple miles, is just this rock field that you can barely tell where the trail is. And there's just no safe place to put your foot. So it's just beating up your legs, your feet, the pounding. This is crazy hard. Sit down for a second. Crow's down below. He's working his way up. Taylor's in front of me. He's already gone around this section. Man. I don't know. Can't wait to get to the top and sit at camp and think about this. Like, I might advise people to go a completely different way. This is rough. All right, I gotta get going or else I'm never gonna finish this climb. Wow. Oh. Wish me luck. We'll see you at the top. This is the Hobbs cabin. Looks like you've got a front porch and a back porch. And then you've got bunk beds and stuff to hang your gear. And you can rent this out. Fireplace, room. If you want to camp in the Hobbs cabin. A little fire pit out front, picnic table. But we're at one of the primitive sites. We're gonna hike around, find site number 6. So when you get to camp, you always do the most important things first. You set up your chair, and then you put on flip-flops. And then you sit around for a while, because that sounds really fun right now. Well, hey everybody, made it to camp, got set up, dinner's been cooked. I'm gonna go over and sit down and eat. Pretty beat up. Today was a rough day, especially that last couple miles. The climb up to the ridge broke me, so looking forward to getting some good food, getting rehydrated, and then jumping in the hammock and getting some sleep. We've got to get up early because we've got a long way to get back to the ranger station to get out of here. So they're talking about getting up at 5 and getting on trail quick. So I think sun's up at 6. So I guess the goal would be hiking at least by first light. It's busy here. There's a good bit of campers here at the Hobbs cabin campgrounds. Seems pretty nice. Pretty pleased with the site that we've got. So, wow, I'm sore. I'm gonna need to drink some Gatorade or something before I go to bed. yeah, it's a good day. Weather was good. The rain kind of, ended in the morning. We actually got some blue skies and a little bit of sun at the end of the day. Very comfortable. Really enjoyed kind of the whole thing, going through the Gulf. Everything up until that last brutal climb. That was pretty tough. But we're here now, and we've got to go back down it. So hopefully it's not as bad in the morning, but we'll try and film a little bit more through that section so you can just see how tough that was. So I'm gonna go join the guys over at the campfire area and call it a night. We'll see you guys in the morning. Wow. Well, good morning, everybody. It's just after 6 o'clock a.m. We got up a little early, some earlier than others. Not mentioning any names. But he was like our alarm clock this morning. So he woke Crow and myself up with his musical number, or whatever you want to call it. Flatulence, yeah, you could say that. So we packed up a little bit in the dark, had to get the headlamps out and had some coffee, and we're just about ready to go. So it's just after 6. We're going to get on the trail. We've got 8.5, something like that, miles out. Probably the way it's been, that's going to be like 14, because yesterday was supposed to be like 12 or 13, and I think we did like 16, 17, something like that. So should be a nice hike out. The weather seems great. We had a little sprinkle last night, but that was about it. Otherwise, perfect weather. Nice and chilly, but
Let's keep moving.
let's keep moving. The long route, it only adds about 20 miles. Little heart-shaped rock as he climbed up. He's like, that seems strategically placed right at the end of a brutal climb. Well, if it wasn't for the blazes, like, you'd have no clue where you're going.
This would be so hard. See, like right here, I didn't look up. I was walking right here, and I just thought it kept going.
Oh yeah.
And I got way down there. I was like, wait a minute, this don't look right.
Well, and we had kind of been going sideways like that for like 2 miles or something, like a long distance. Well, and we had that one section up here where all of a sudden it just turned and went straight up past that huge boulder.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I guess we're going straight up the mountain at this point. And I think if we had, like, say this was a 3-night and you had the second night was at Sawmill in the middle on the bottom, and you could get a good night's sleep and rest down there and then come up here the next day, I think that would be a lot more manageable and maybe a better way to space it out if you have the extra day to do it. Well, we've made it back to the Sawmill campgrounds here in the bottom of the Gulf. We just hit the 4-mile mark. Man, today has been awesome. Just it's nice and cool. It's overcast. We did have a tiny little sprinkle back there, but I don't think any of us even thought about, there's the Sawmill sign, thought about like putting on rain gear or anything like that. It's just been very comfortable. Everybody's kind of shed maybe a layer because it's comfortable and you don't need much. So hiking in shorts and a t-shirt here in April has been just perfect. So we're approaching halfway, I'd say. We've got what, about 8.5 miles, something like that, we think, and we're at 4. So I'm looking forward to seeing a new section of trail up ahead. This has all been a little bit of duplicate of what we saw at the end of yesterday, but we'll get back to through the connector trail, a couple of those bridges that we filmed yesterday, until we get to the Stone Door Trail, which will head back up to the ranger station. So that'll be all new. And we saw the Stone Door, gap in the rocks that's pretty famous here. So we saw that from the top. This time we'll be able to show it, coming up from the bottom. We're going to hike up right through it. So that should be pretty cool. Stay tuned for that. Well, I'm going to go stop filming, grab a bite to eat, and get some water. I'll check back later. All right, we made the junction, the connector trail with the Big Creek Gap Trail, and we're gonna now split off and take, what's it even called? Does it say? I don't know if it says. We're gonna be going up. Oh, we're taking a section of the BCG trail up towards the ranger station, going right through Stone Gap. Stone Gap? Stone Door. Stone Door.
We've been calling it Devil's Door.
Devil's Door. He's Stone Door. All right. We got about a 0.9 climb, right? 0.9 mile climb.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck. Let's do this. No warm up here. We're going straight up right away. We're going to gain a bunch of feet of elevation to get up on top of that ridge, which is right up here. So it's like all in 1 mile. We'll be at the top. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Going like straight up here. Kinda can tell there's a trail here, but if it's not for the occasional blazes, we wouldn't be sure completely. There's one. Sheer cliff face. He now has to bare hand climb that to get up to the top. Let's see how he does. Taylor decided not to climb the sheer face of the cliff. Instead, he wanted to take the stairs. So fine, we'll do the cop-out way. Now take a look at this. Isn't that cool? Let's go up. Please excuse my heavy breathing, but this is kicking my butt.
That's just me, Andy. It's not you.
Yep. Wow. That's tough. But also a very cool feature.
Good job, guys.
Yeah. Quite a rocket.
So this one has in-body stabilization. Try to be shoulder to shoulder.
Just elbow in the gut. Thanks for watching, everybody. We made it to the parking lot here at Savage Gulf at the ranger station at the North Trailhead. Had an awesome time. Thanks so much to Taylor
Had a blast, dude.
from Southern Hike and Crow from As Crow Flies Hiking. Thanks, gentlemen. Till next time, everybody, be well.